Morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. My name is Nathan Bakken. My pronouns are they, them. I am the Director of Faith Exploration here at UUFNN, and I am honored to be a part of your worship team this morning. We have a really exciting service, and I want to one of the aspects of our service is we'll be utilizing 4 different colored note cards. Does anybody not have note cards yet who still needs note cards? We have some folks coming around passing those note cards out. And I have a stack right. Okay, we're getting more. While we're getting more, I want to welcome you all here today, no matter where you are, whether you're in the sanctuary or online on Zoom. Hi, Zoom. We are excited that you're here. We are meeting and gathering on the ancestral lands of the Paiute, the Shoshone, and the Washoe. We are mindful and honored by how they have stewarded this land before us, and we continue to learn from them how to steward and care for this land. We welcome you. We welcome all of you. We celebrate with you all the parts of yourself that make you different, whether it's your racial identity, age, economic circumstance, immigration status, sexual orientation, gender identity, all the ways that you are made you, we welcome you here and we celebrate it. If it is your first time here or it's your 100th time here, we're glad that you're here. I want to remind everyone that you can sign up for our newsletter, our online e-news that will keep you informed of all the activities here at UUFNN. You can go online or you can email office at UUFNN and talk to Carol and she'll help you get set up. We ask that all respect the wishes of folks who continue to social distance, practice open communication with one another, and be intentional about how we honor each other's boundaries. For those on Zoom, you will remain muted during the service, but you can comment in the chat. And you can also stay on following the service where we'll open breakout rooms for our Zoom folks to have a coffee hour together. We come here to voice our truth, to wade through the reality of our world. Welcome all. In just a few minutes, we're going to take some time to greet one another, and we want to encourage you to greet each other in ways that are comfortable for you. It could be a handshake, it could be a hug, a fist bump, an elbow. Be sure to ask permission from the person you're talking to of how they like to be greeted. I'm going to ring this singing bowl as our sign that our greeting time has begun, and I will ring it again when our greeting time has closed. You may greet one another.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Morning,
Good
Zoom.
morning.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy. Okay.
Now, before we get our service started, I do have some announcements. And it is the holiday season, so there are more announcements than usual. Our first announcement is that our membership ministry invites you all to the Star King Room in the Education Building, which is that building right, if you walk down to the hallway and you go to that last door on the end and you walk across the little sidewalk to the other building, that's the Education Building. You're invited to go there after the service today for Light Bites, a gathering of connection and community that includes light breakfast snacks, juice, and coffee. It's a fun way to meet new people, visitors, new members, and old members. Visitors and new members are especially welcome. Old members are always welcome as well. I now want to invite Lois up to tell us more about our Ribbon of Joy.
Good morning. As of Saturday morning, and this was early Saturday morning, we only had 21 gifts left on our Ribbon of Joy. And here are some examples of the wishes that are left. Of course, $50 Walmart cards will always be welcome, so you can always do that. And then there's a young man named Daniel, and he's 13, and he wishes for some earbuds. And Emily, who is 9, loves pink. And she wishes a party dress, a scooter, and a sweatshirt, a hoodie, all in pink, of course. And then there's a mama, Gabriella, would love a purse with a wallet. Those are just examples. So you can go on the website, sign up for the person you choose, and then wrap the gift with the name and contents on the label, and deliver your gift to the Women and Children of the Sierra, 3905 Neal Road. That's all on the website. And you have 2 days to deliver it. One is on December 12th, between 3 and 5, and December 13th, between 4 and 5. 2 things. You can always give us money, cold, hard cash. And if you need someone to deliver your gifts, use the email joy@uufnn.org to make your request, and someone will come and help deliver that for you. There are only 8 more days, so be sure and go online and get your purchases done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lois, and thank you to our amazing team who's helping make Ribbon of Joy a joy this year. Thank you. It is the holiday season, and UUFNN is not short of events. I first want to apologize for the announcement that went out. That was last year's events calendar. That was a miscommunication, and I apologize. We will be sending out the updated list. But for those who are curious, on December 15th, here in this room at 6 p.m., we will be doing our Solstice Taizé service. Taizé is a spiritual practice of meditative singing. It will be done by candlelight. It's beautiful. It will also be streamed online on Zoom, so you can participate from home. On Friday, December 21st, is Mother's Night, led by our very own Rosie and our Cups community. It is rooted out of the Nordic pagan tradition, and it's a opportunity to honor our divine feminine presences that guide us, our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, women who are not biologically our mothers but have mothered us nonetheless, and mothering presences who may not have used the title of mother but are mothers to us regardless of their gender. That is going to be here on Friday, the 21st at 6 p.m. You're encouraged to bring a totem, a photo, an article of something that reminds you of your loved ones. It's an opportunity to honor our mothers who have passed, our mothers who hold us presently, and honor the sacred mothers who help usher us into becoming. And finally, on December 17th, here for our Sunday service, we are going to be doing our Polar Express Sunday, and we're going to be doing it a little different. It's going to be an intergenerational service. So we are going to be doing our Polar Express here in the service, so everyone can experience the joy of a visit from maybe a special visitor and get some candy canes and some jingly gifts. Following the Polar Express service is our congregational holiday party. So right after the Sunday service, we will have hot chocolate making stands, cookie decorating, gingerbread houses, the whole shebang. So please come on December 17th to our Sunday service, and please stick around for our holiday party. Those are all of my announcements, and I would love to invite up Daniel Panado from our Legacy Committee to tell us more about our legacy.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Panado. I'm the current recording secretary of the Legacy Committee. I currently serve on that committee with the chair, Linda Doro, with the financial secretary, Duncan Caldwell, and also Kathleen Burton and Alf Berenberg. The Legacy Fund is a permanent fund which is an asset of the fellowship, but is not included within the fellowship's operating budget. It is not responsible for taking care of the ongoing expenses, operating expenses and maintenance, but it helps provide funds to issue grants to do other things to extend and expand the mission of the fellowship. Typically, at the beginning of each year, we would put out a call depending on the available funds, and we would invite applications for grants, and then we would issue grants upon approval, and those could be used for various things. Some of the things that you may have observed, some of the concrete items, just this year, we funded the new picnic grounds. There's some picnic tables and benches out in the back patio. And in prior years, we helped subsidize some of the audiovisual equipment that's being used that has been so important during the time of the pandemic and shutdowns to be able to reach out to others. We really appreciate the grants, or actually the donations that have been made by others over the many years since this fund has been established. Just to give you kind of a sense of what that has been, this current annual year, calendar year, we've received approximately $5,000. That's come from about 15 different donors. And for this fiscal year, in other words, this last half of this year, it's been about half of that, about 2,500 from about 8 different donors. These gifts are anything from just a straight donation to the fund, or sometimes they've been given in honor of and memorializing past members and others, including, for example, Jim Hulse this past year. So we appreciate all of those donations that have been given. The fund itself is, again, a perpetual fund. It's been ongoing for a number of years now. It has taken some hits with the fluctuation of the market over the past almost 2 years now since the invasion of Ukraine. It's currently under the guidance of professional financial advisors. We invest in funds that are good for the environment, for social justice, for good governance. We try to avoid some of the other funds that are making money off of things that we would not be in support of within this congregation. So finally, we would just invite donations if you would like to make them. They can offer potential benefits to through income tax deductions for those of you who still itemize, and also in your estate planning. If you would like more information, there are brochures out on the brochure rack just outside of the double doors to the left there. Obviously, you can speak to anyone who's on the committee, and we'd be happy to discuss it further with you. And there's also an additional information and link on the website under the menu and under donate. So thank you very much for your time and attention for this.
Thank you, Daniel. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian, and my pronouns are he, him. Don't know about you, but I'm a bit overwhelmed by the news of the world today. Today's service is about a practice called active hope. This practice has been very helpful to me in working on climate change. Today is a brief introduction. There is a great book, Active Hope, by Joanna Macy and Chris Johnston. And there's a website and online training available. We'll be doing a workshop in January 20th as well. In some ways, Active Hope is like our worship services, but it is a practice that you can do on your own every day. So let's start with the familiar and celebrate our community together with lighting of the chalice. For our chalice lighting, we will read a poem from Active Hope. Active hope is not wishful thinking. Active hope is not waiting to be rescued by the Lone Ranger or by some savior. Active hope is waking up to the beauty of life on whose behalf we can act. We belong to this world. The web of life is calling us forth at this time. We've come a long way and are here to play our part. With active hope, we realize that there are adventures in store, strengths to discover, and comrades to link arms with.
Active hope is a readiness to engage. Active hope is a readiness to discover the strengths in ourselves and in others. A readiness to discover the reasons for hope and the occasions for love. A readiness to discover the size and strength of our hearts, our quickness of mind, our steadiness of purpose, our own authority, our love for life, the liveliness of our curiosity, the unsuspected deep well of patience and diligence, the keenness of our senses, and our capacity to lead. None of these can be discovered in an armchair or without risk.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Breaking news. If you're taking metformin or Ozempic, you need to see this. Did you know that?
What? Whoops. Whoops. Whoops.
Type 2 has nothing to do with sugar? In fact, every single organ of your body needs sugar.
So what is active hope? Active hope is a spiritual practice for building personal resilience. It offers tools for turning despair and apathy into constructive and collaborative action. Today, we will touch on the four basic aspects: gratitude, honoring our pain, seeing with new eyes, and going forth into the world. We invite you to engage with this practice today. We'll start by expressing gratitude. Gratitude enhances resilience. Recent research has shown that people experiencing high levels of gratitude tend to be happier and more satisfied with their lives. We can train our mind to notice the upside of life more easily and quickly. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's missing to what's here. This makes us stronger in the face of difficult times. The process for expressing gratitude is like our expressions of joys in the regular service. I will light a candle for gratitude now. Let's practice together. If you prefer to write it out, you may do so on the red note card or in your own notes at home. These notes are yours to hold on to if you like. Or let's share aloud popcorn style in the great room or in the Zoom chat. I am grateful for... I'm grateful for the tech team. Anyone else? Go ahead and share. Great. Go ahead, continue. Windows. Family, lots of people. I'm grateful for my family. Got to see our eldest, our children over Thanksgiving, so it was really nice. Others? UU values, farmers. All right. Well, thank you for sharing those thoughts. Now we're going to hopefully sing of hope and joy.
As we sing of hope and joy today, some know only anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while some have pain and misery to spare? If a crumbling world we would renew, we must sing no ordinary song. Hymns from a noisy hall will never do. In every breath compassion must belong. Let this song our greatest hopes contain, laughter of a well-fed childish tune, proofs over every heartbeat its refrain, its harmony from peaceful cities hewn. Sing of joy while hammering each nail. Sing of hope while pulling every weed. So shall we sing together and prevail. May every alleluia bear a seed.
I want to invite us to take a moment to take a breath focusing on our gratitude. I invite you to inhale through your nose, feel the air fill your lungs. I invite you to exhale with a sigh. I'm going to invite us to do it one more time. The second practice in active hope is titled Honoring Our Pain. And there's a reason it comes after gratitude. Like the song we just sang, hope is what holds us while we pull out the weeds, while we hammer the nails, while we do the work of transforming the world. It's really easy, especially in our present moment, to feel the overwhelm of the world. And so inviting us to root into gratitude first before we touch our pain is essential. The process for honoring our pain is like our expression, is like how we express our joys and concerns and our sorrows. Each Sunday, you're all invited up here to drop a stone in a bowl, to light a candle, and that dropping of the stone is a signifier of what we're letting go of, what we can't carry by ourselves, that we need others to carry with us. The light of our candle is the light that even through our pain and our sorrow, there is light shining bright to guide us. So I will light a candle to honor our pain. And similar with gratitude, we're going to practice that today. Instead of our traditional joys and concerns ritual, we're going to be doing things a little different. And while we do this, I want to invite you to engage at a vulnerability level that is supportive for you. And so to start, I'm going to read a lot of kind of the instructions to kind of help us set the scene of what we're going to be doing. And then after I'm done talking, I'll be using the singing bowl to signify how we move through the steps. So to begin, I want to ground us in the practice that I opened this section with. Active hope encourages us to ground ourselves in our breath. If you've been a member here in my tenure of just a year and a half of being here, you'll have heard me say multiple times, our breath is the first prayer our bodies learn to pray. That comes from the Latin and the Greek, animus, pneumas. The word for breath and the word for spirit are the same. So we are going to ground in our breath. I want to invite everybody to resettle into their seats. They've been standing and moving, getting comfortable. I want us to feel our bodies in our chairs. And instead of giving you a specific rhythm to breathe, I want to invite you to take a moment to breathe the breath you need to breathe today. It can be deep, it can be shallow. Take this moment to just breathe how you need to breathe right now. From our breath, we are called to practice honoring our pain. How we're going to do that today is we're going to center the truth that pain needs to be witnessed. In just a minute, I'm going to sound the singing bowl. And at that first ring, I'm going to invite you all to take your green card, or if you don't have a green card, a piece of paper. For those on Zoom, please use scrap paper or Google Doc. And for those in this, there are pencils behind chairs if you need writing utensils. For those in the front row, there are pencils behind you. Unfortunately, I don't have magical front pockets for the front chairs. But we're going to take a minute and reflect on the statement, when I think about the condition of our world, what breaks my heart is. And I'm going to repeat that. When I think about the condition of the world, what breaks my heart is. We're going to hold a moment of silence as you reflect at this moment, what breaks your heart? This is now the vulnerable part. When I ring the singing bowl next, I'm going to invite you to turn to someone sitting near you. For our folks on Zoom, I'm going to invite you to enter into the chat. And I want you to ask the person sitting next to you, how do they want to be witnessed? I'm not asking you to necessarily read what is on your card. They can be witnessed through silence. They can be witnessed through the words on their card. Or if they want to summarize the words in a feeling, they can share that feeling. Once that person has shared, you'll then switch places and you will get to be witnessed. So part of this is also having to figure out who's going to go first. And I know that can be scary. I know that this is vulnerable. For many of us here, we might not know the person sitting next to us very well, or we might not know them at all. This could be your first time visiting here, and what a Sunday to come visit. But I want to encourage you to participate in a way that is most supportive for you. Silence is not the absence of pain or truth. Rather, it is pain and truth in a different form. It takes bravery to not be able to speak the unspeakable. It is okay if you don't want to say anything. It is okay if you feel awkward and uncomfortable. When those feelings arise, I want to invite you back to your breath. Take a deep breath before you speak, before you share, even if all you're sharing is silence. So I'm going to ring the singing bowl. I invite you to turn to a person nearby. Ask them, how do they want to be witnessed? How do you want to be witnessed today? As you answer the question, when I think about the condition of our world, what breaks my heart is. And I will sing the singing bowl. I know that wasn't a lot of time. And I know some people may not have had the opportunity to share who needed to share. And I believe we have the space to hold even that which remains in the silence of our hearts. I want to invite everyone to turn to the person who they shared with and say thank you. Express gratitude for the vulnerability, for their courage. I'm going to invite us to take 2 more breaths. As we breathe, I want you to invite the paradox of sitting with gratitude and pain simultaneous. They're not opposing forces. They're not a dichotomy or a binary. They can coexist. I invite you to take another breath. And I invite you to exhale with a sigh. I invite us to do it one more time, and may our collective sigh be a gratitude as we move to the next part of our service.
My name is Michelle Hamilton, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm here to talk about the next phase of active hope. So up to this point, we've expressed gratitude to build our resilience. We've honored our pain for the world, which is hard. Sometimes it feels like danger is all around us. It's almost like we're in an adventure story where the main character has to figure out how to get out of this mess. Or sometimes it's like a real life story, like the Apollo 13 mission, when the spacecraft suffered massive internal damage 2 days into the flight. And those astronauts nearly died. So how to face the danger and crisis is the next step on the path of active hope. And it's called seeing with new eyes. We need to move beyond the familiar constraints by shifting our perception. The crew of Apollo 13 did just that with the help of mission control. They improvised. They used things in the ship in new ways to deal with the problems of limited electricity, cold, carbon dioxide buildup, and a shortage of potable water. So how can we shift our perception? How can we see with new eyes? One approach is to develop a wider sense of self. Modern society encourages us to focus on ourselves. Our economy depends on consumer spending, so advertisers tempt us with better cars, better furniture, better clothes, better vacations. It's all about us. Then we get to share our improved selves on social media. But of course, when we focus on ourselves, we act differently than when we have a larger sense of self. We can broaden our sense of self to include our family. For example, parents make decisions that benefit their children, even though it means they have to give something up. Often, it's sleep. We can also broaden our sense of self to include our community. I am willing to drive slower in a school zone because I don't want to run over a small child, even though it means it will take me a little longer to get where I'm going. We can broaden our sense of self to include human society. Our 6th principle encourages us to do just that. The goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Then there's the 7th principle that calls us to go even further. respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. As we expand our sense of self, we shift our perception. We see new ways of doing things, new ways of building a better world for all creatures, ways to improvise. We find new allies. We find new sources of inspiration, and we begin to see with new eyes. So I'm going to light a candle for the world. We know that gratitude and pain affect us all. With an expanded sense of self, we can see that we're all in this together. Now is the time in our service when we offer our bounty to support the work of this community and local groups that see the world with new eyes and are working on building a better world. Baskets will be passed around the great room, or anyone can text 73256. Type UUFNN in the message box and hit send. You can also mail a check to the office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, Nevada, 89511. Or better yet, you can sign up for automatic giving. Please contact the office and Carol will explain the process. It's simple and convenient way to give. Brian and I do it, and it really is simple and easy. Every month, we share our bounty with a nonprofit through our Share the Plate program. If you donate by texting, you will receive instructions to make an additional contribution to our Share the Plate partner. If you write a check, we assume you want that to go to the operating fund, unless you make a notation on the check that you want those funds to be shared with our Share the Plate partner. So this month, we are supporting Skiing is Believing, and I'm very happy to invite Danielle Eaton to come up and tell us more about it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is a really special place, and I'm really, really honored to be here to talk about Skiing is Believing. Skiing is Believing is an organization that promotes, supports, and eases access for sports for children in our community, not just skiing. We do more sports. We do that by offering day camps for students in our area from ages 8 to 14 based on the Washoe County School District calendar. So we partner with a lot of local organizations, other nonprofits to provide not only the sports component, but also community service. So we get in leadership and all kinds of different things. So students get and kids get a well-rounded kind of experience through these day camps. What makes this, well, why I joined the board, actually. I met the founder when I was in graduate school and thought that this was such a great thing to offer to our community because we don't turn any students away. So it costs money to run an organization, but we never turn any students away, understanding that that could be a limitation for them participating in skiing or snowboarding or those kinds of activities, and we never want that to be a barrier. So what's next for Skiing is Believing? Well, right now we're relying on our partners and to be able to offer these camping opportunities, and we have to go to where they are, and we would like to have our own building to be able to offer our programming. We could expand our programming and offer it to more students. And we have, our founder actually made what's called the Biggest Little Ski Hill, which is a year-round opportunity for kids to learn how to ski and snowboard. And if we get them in there in the summer, then they can hit the slopes? I don't ski. The slopes in the winter ready to go. I didn't have the opportunity to learn how to ski, so it's really been rewarding for me to be able to join a board that's inclusive and promotes inclusivity in our area and hopefully allows children in our area to be more engaged in a healthier lifestyle and have an agency in that. So I wasn't anticipating this being like so moving. I don't know why. And so I had a whole spiel and I dumped it because this has been such an incredible experience. But if any of you have any questions. My husband and I are going to hang out in the gathering space afterwards. Thank you so much for allowing me space in this incredible service. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for being here. So we're about to begin passing the basket so that you can make a donation to this amazing organization. And while we do that, we're going to practice seeing with new eyes. So everybody's got a yellow card. You know the drill now. This is for you to take home. And I invite you to reflect on this question. Looking at the future we're heading into, what I deeply hope for is, I'll repeat it. Looking at the future we're heading into, what I deeply hope for is. Now let the offering begin. You can tell we're improvising a little today because we don't have the choir, so thank you so much for your humor in approaching this. And now, please join me as we bless our offerings. To the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy, we dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. Thank you.
Give my tech person a moment to switch back to the camera. Well, I'll get started. Hi, my name is Philip Moore. My personal pronouns are he, him, and his. And I'm here today to talk about the last part of Active Hope, known as Going Forth. As we talked about the service today, we recognize how the rituals that we perform in service very much overlap with the practices from Active Hope. And in this case, we're talking about the benediction, which from the Latin is literally speaking the good word. It is intended to be words of encouragement as we head out from our service into our week in the world. So I would note today that we have expressed our gratitude and joys. We have honored our pain and sorrows. We have seen with new eyes and made an offering to the future of our community. What I'm now going to invite you to do is to go forth and decide how you want to act based on those foundations. As I think about the process we've gone through today, I am so thankful for my family, my friends, my community. I acknowledge the privilege that has given me so much comfort in this life. I have a daily gratitude practice in which I think, in my belief system, I thank God for all that He has given to me. In reflecting on my own pain, I know that we no longer have an option for a smooth transition into the future. I feel such anguish for myself, my wife, my daughter, my friends, my community. The next years and decades are going to be challenging. I would love to believe that my privilege could hide me from that reality. But I know that no amount of possessions or privilege protects me from what's going to happen. And therefore, I believe that the best thing I can do is continue to remain connected and build the strongest community around me and my family. I go forth by giving my life energy to build community through my paid and volunteer work. And now I'm going to invite you to take a minute to use your blue card in order to document those actions that you would like to take going out from today, reflecting on not only what brings pain, but also how you've seen with new eyes. And let me invite you to say, may you remain in gratitude. May you honor your pain. May you see with new eyes. And may you go forth. And I'm going to look to my tech crew and see if we're going to be able to do our final song. And so please join us in singing We Are Not Our Own. No. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. And I will say, our worship is over. Let our practice begin. Thank you for being here today.